What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. So we got that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar bringing even more heat onto herself after she just decided to take it over to CNN to direct even more threats towards President Donald Trump, guys. And I'm excited to get into this one, so I'll hop straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
You've said that federal immigration agents actually pulled over your son on Saturday and asked him to prove his citizenship. He is, of course, a U.S. citizen, as are you. The Department of Homeland Security says, and I'm quoting them, ICE has absolutely zero record of its officers or agents pulling over Congresswoman Omar's son, and have accused you of seeking to, quote, demonize ICE as part of a PR stunt, their words. What do you say to that?
Well, if ICE is saying that they have documentation of every single person that they have pulled over in Minneapolis, we would love to see that record because we've certainly, myself and the governor, have been asking them to share information with us on the ways in which they have interacted with Minnesotans, and they have not been able to provide a single information. So it is amazing that they're able to put out this statement saying definitely that they did not pull my son over when they haven't been able to answer anything else. And ICE has been known to lie when it comes to their enforcement.
All right, folks. So once again, we're seeing that Ilhan Omar wrapped up in scandal, with this one being the latest. This time she's claiming that ICE stopped her son on the streets of Minnesota and questioned him about his immigration status. But it turns out that this whole story is false. ICE says they have no records of this stop ever even happening, and this isn't even the case that I believe Ilhan Omar should be focusing solely on when she's got so much happening around her. Found there's a bombshell report where AJ Kern sat down and spoke with Liz Collin, and she found out that Ilhan Omar was actually 18 at the time where her father became eligible for citizenship, not 17, which opens the door for deportation. You guys have to check this out.
Good to see you, Liz, and thank you for providing the opportunity for me today.
You know, President Trump has been calling Congresswoman Ilhan Omar into question recently, and White House border czar Tom Homan has confirmed there is an open investigation concerning her immigration status. You're no stranger to politics, I know, AJ, having run for Congress yourself, but you have been raising red flags about Omar for years now. I know there's a bit of a backstory here, but walk us through what you've uncovered.
Right. Well, in 2019, I was looking at something about Ilhan Omar on the internet, and it occurred to me to look at her birth year. I don't know why, or birth date. And so I used an age calculator and found out that she was actually 18 in the year 2000 when her father became eligible to apply for citizenship. She claimed that she became a citizen at the age of 17. So when I realized she wasn't actually 17, I created a video explaining derivation of citizenship and how that works. So to me, this was like completely a red flag that I had figured out that she actually wasn't a minor when her father could apply for naturalization. So
here we have another piece of evidence to hand over to the Trump administration when it comes to the immigration status of that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this thing is not looking good for her, as we're now finding out that she was 18 years old the year that her father became eligible for citizenship within the United States of America. She was not 17, which is certainly a derivation of citizenship, and Ilhan Omar is ultimately worried about how this thing will turn out for her. And it looks like the Trump administration is taking this thing very seriously, as we got this new gem dropping from the White House. Breaking news, the Trump administration is now planning to ramp up efforts to denaturalize certain U.S. citizens born in foreign countries. Okay, so it's finally happening, and President Donald Trump also spoke on this one. I want you guys to check out exactly what he had to say on the matter.
Mr. President, you said that you might denaturalize some American citizens. Can you talk about...
You mean people that are in here that shouldn't be here?
That became Americans. Are you trying
Well, we'll
to
see. I mean, yeah, we have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized maybe through a Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize, absolutely.
And that one right there tells us about everything we need to know about this situation. The White House, Trump administration is taking this thing very seriously when it comes to the immigration status of the Somalian representative Ilhan Omar. President Donald Trump not mincing his words whatsoever, pretty straightforward there, and saying they're going to look into it and denaturalize these folks that aren't supposed to be in our country in the first place. And I want to flip over because we also have this report coming in. It was an interview sit down with Benny Johnson and a Republican congressman that actually predicted that the Trump administration will begin to arrest and deport Ilhan Omar for marrying her brother. You guys have to check this one out.
The great thing about immigration fraud is, if this is all true, which it clearly is, I mean, this has been something that's been rumored for years, and we finally have an administration that's investigating immigration fraud. And how poetic will it be if Ilhan Omar actually defrauded the United States in her way to become a citizen, and as serving as a member of Congress. The great part of this from the administration standpoint is if she committed immigration fraud, they can deport her. So yes, there are criminal penalties for defrauding the United States and participating in immigration fraud. But the great part of that is if she committed fraud to get into the country, then she's not legally able to be in the country, and the United States of America can quickly deport her back to Somalia. And then obviously that seat will be vacant. But that's the great part about this, is the administration, once they have found that she did in fact commit immigration fraud, they can arrest her and have her deported because she is not legally in the country.
What would that look like? Would it effectively look like a DNA test? I guess you'd have to have something, they have plenty of corroborating evidence that comes through the marriage document and marriage certificate. Yeah. And then also Somali community members saying this is obviously the same family.
I mean, I don't even think you if you have the marriage licenses and you can prove that that's her brother, I don't even think you need DNA tests. If the paper, you have to file a marriage license. Obviously, they can track down who this person is and who she is and how they came into the country. I think it would actually be pretty easy to prove that they committed fraud to get into the country, and then therefore she is not legally here in our country, and therefore she can be deported immediately. And I would imagine Homan, because he has stated that they're going to investigate this, I would imagine this is the top of his pile of immigration fraud.
And I will say, after all I've been seeing, the walls are certainly closing in on Miss Ilhan Omar. She attempted to defraud American systems to get her brother immigration status within the United States of America illegally. And if you break the laws, you're supposed to be prosecuted and held accountable. Drag her in front of a judge. There is no reason why we shouldn't see accountability in this situation right here, in this case of Ilhan Omar. I'm just thinking about if it were you or I, there wouldn't be a question or doubt in anyone's mind. We're going to be dragged right in front of a judge. We're going to face prosecution and probably removed expeditiously. So there shouldn't be any other set of rules, a two-tier system of justice for these loonies on the left. I mean, in their words, they love to preach to us that no one is above the law. So it's time to finally see someone act and hold these bad actors accountable. But I want to flip over because Megyn Kelly also dropped a big bombshell saying that Ilhan Omar's immigration status could definitely be on the chopping block.
I have some good news for all of us, which is about Ilhan Omar. It starts bad, but then it gets good. She married her brother, allegedly, so that he could get into the country and be here, like an immigration matter. Trump keeps saying that she married her brother so she could get in. That's not it. She was already in. She was brought in by her dad when she was young, under 18. But she did reportedly, allegedly, marry her own brother so that he could come into the country, and then divorced him and got remarried to her own ex-husband, I think is how it went, because this is all a fraud to get her brother here. Legal Insurrection, which is a great website, tells me the statute of limitations has run on that claim, that immigration fraud claim with the brother, if indeed it happened. However, because Tom Homan was on Fox saying that they're looking into this brother thing with Ilhan Omar. That's the best news we've heard. I'm thrilled that DHS is actually looking into it. So if the statute of limitations has run on the brother situation, still it should be exposed and documented. There is the possibility that she's still in trouble because now they think, okay, let me just read the following. And they're citing this Matt Tardio on X. Ilhan Omar claims that she obtained her citizenship when her father was naturalized in 2000, just months before her 18th birthday. But there's a problem. No record has been found of his naturalization paperwork. In response to a FOIA request for her father's N-400 paperwork filed by A.J. Kern in June of 2023, the National Records Center was unable to locate any filings under his name. Question: can she be denaturalized and deported if this is substantiated? Answer: yes. If fraud was involved in her father's alleged naturalization, then her citizenship could be on the chopping block, because that would be immigration fraud by the dad that would affect her, and that would be a political earthquake, Dave Smith. That if she's not a U.S. citizen, she can't be a U.S. House member, and she could be deported. I mean, like, I just want to give you that little nugget going off into the weekend.
It might be evil how excited that prospect makes me, but that really would be something. I mean, geez, what a weird story.
We deserve it.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, there's no self-respecting country can put up with people, and don't get me wrong, I could make out, we've been bombing Somalia for 20 years, and hundreds of thousands of people have died in that country, and lots of people have fled over, like U.S. action. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a lefty here. I'm just a constitutionalist Ron Paul type guy who's like, we shouldn't have been doing that. But no self-respecting country.
And they can go someplace else.
Yes, but no self-respecting country can have a system where anyone from the world can come in and then immediately start lecturing us about how our society is wrong and needs to be overhauled. It's so outrageous.
Wow, folks, my mind has been blown once again. Talk about the absolute truth, Newt, coming from Megyn Kelly here when it comes to the immigration status of that Somalian representative, Ilhan Omar. So it looks like she may be off the hook in terms of the immigration fraud committed allegedly with her brother marrying him in order to get his citizenship within the United States of America. But she's not off the hook when it comes to her immigration status and how she gained her citizenship within the United States of America. Ilhan Omar claimed that she obtained citizenship shortly after her father became eligible and she was 17 years old, 17 or 18. Either one, that's neither here nor there in this case, because DHS just reported there is no records, absolutely none. No records of her father ever actually gaining citizenship within the United States of America, which opens up a whole nother can of worms. Wow, this thing is getting juicy. And that's not all, folks. That's not all that Ilhan Omar faces. You guys absolutely have to check this one out. Her fraud runs rampant through the state of Minnesota.
Under the nose of Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, we see a web of connections between them and those directly involved in the fraud. For example, Ilhan Omar alleged enabling introducing the 2020 Meals Act, which was ultimately subject to fraud. Held a campaign victory party at the Safari restaurant. That's where one of the men who run that restaurant has associations to the convicted individuals. And then there's Tim Walz, House Oversight Investigation role in his role as governor. Or Keith Ellison, the Attorney General. His job is to enforce the law in Minnesota, but instead he's getting donations after meeting with the Feeding Our Future representatives. The Feeding Our Future, the biggest known yet part of this entire theft ring. The executive director of Black Lives Matter, by the way, over in Oklahoma City, has now been charged with wire fraud and money laundering. The organization raised more than $5 million in 2020, but she is accused of pocketing more than half of that instead of using it to bail out people for protesting in support of BLM. No, she pocketed, allegedly, most of that money. Oh, by the way, here she is. You want to see a picture of her? Here she is. Notice who she's in the picture with. That's right. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. But hey, it's just the system, right?
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness, looks like that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar stuck her neck all the way out there for the wrong cause, and now she's surrounded by investigations and legal trouble as a direct result. And I'm gonna come out and be honest, I can't even act like I'm shocked or surprised to see the amount of dirty laundry now being aired out from Ilhan Omar's closet. Tons of skeletons in there, and this is the same thing that we typically see when it comes to these loonies on the left, these Democrats that politically target folks on the right. We've seen the same exact thing happen in New York with that New York Attorney General Letitia James. She came after President Donald Trump for quote-unquote mortgage fraud. We all knew this was a political witch hunt. Coming to find out that she was projecting all along. It was projection 101. She had done how many acts of fraud, egregious fraud, over a stint of 2 decades, guys, 2 decades, but then wanted to come after President Donald Trump, and now she's paying for it. We've seen the same exact thing happening with that district attorney over in Fulton County, Georgia. Fonnie Willis was now also in big trouble. She's in deep water when it comes to her case against President Donald Trump. I mean, she was projecting on him the entire time. She was trying to enrich herself and gain fame through the name of President Donald Trump. It did not work. It backfired on her royally. Now we're seeing that she's sitting in the courthouse. Probably going to end up doing a little coverage on that one probably later on today or tomorrow, so you guys can check out the state that she's currently in. But I'll tell you right now, it is shambolic. So can't even say I'm shocked or surprised to see this with Ilhan Omar. It's about time that this is finally all coming out. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think this is just the beginning, tip of the iceberg when it comes to the fraudulent crimes that Ilhan Omar has participated in. And it's only a matter of time before it all comes to light. You already know what they say. What's done in the dark surely must come to light. And now is the time, guys. But I'm going to continue to follow this one. All the updates right here with your boy RetroStef, guys. Definitely hop in that comment section. Comments are open. My question for you guys today is, do you believe that Ilhan Omar, the Somalian representative, will actually be held accountable, be the first bad actor that's prosecuted or brought in front of a judge as a direct result of the Trump administration investigating and prosecuting these crimes? Do you guys think that she's going to be another one in typical Democratic fashion to get off the hook entirely and face no consequences whatsoever? Hop in that comment section, guys. Comments are open. Let me know what you're thinking. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, we'll catch you guys on the next one.